What's going on? We need a reset TV family, man. I am gravitating away, and we got a good one today, man. Tariq Nasheed enters the TikTok FBA space, man, and you know he welcomes all to chime in with their opinions. So listen, man, I'm gonna let the video play. Throughout the video, I'm gonna butt in with my own commentary. At the end of the video, I will have my conclusion. The entire video that I grabbed this from is 50 minutes, so I have a link in the description if you want to hear it at its entirety. We're only going to play about 25 minutes of it, plus with my commentary, it's probably a 30-minute video. I just want y'all to hang on tight. This ain't a video for you to hate on FBAs, black immigrants, or Tariq Nasheed, or anybody on the panel that was speaking, man. It's just for us to listen and be mature about it, man. Can we do that at least, my people? Can we do that at least? So without further ado, let's start the video.
But shit, every time I pop on TikTok, everybody got a million spaces whining about me, whining about everybody else. So I'm here now, looking for people. Okay, let me get some people. I'm gonna just start adding a lot of people in here. I'm gonna add a few people in here. I tried that way. All right.
Okay, so you do know that everyone does not have African descent, correct?
What now, dear?
You do know not everyone has African descent, correct?
Well, everybody came out of Africa at one point, right?
That is not correct, sir.
Okay, where did they come from, ma'am?
Listen, I know my people didn't come from Africa because I've done my genealogy.
Okay, where did they come from?
I did not find an African on my tree, and have not. So y'all want us to claim something that we have no ties to?
Then don't claim it. Then don't claim it, sweetie. Don't claim it.
Not going to.
All
and
right.
what foundation did you build when the buildings was already here?
Which ones, dear?
All of the ones that we corners.
Okay. There were buildings here. I don't disagree with that.
Okay, so what's foundational? I'm confused about the foundational at this point.
Of the United States. That's what's foundational. There was no
You're talking
United...
about the corporation. You're talking about the corporation part.
Oh, this plebiscite babble. Oh, okay. Oh, this is plebiscite babble. Okay, that's that prison talk. Okay, here we go with that shit.
I ain't been...
Say what you want, man. But Tariq is funny. But I just wanted to chime in, and we'll get back to the video. But I think homegirl is a little confused on who Tariq is, because so far her argument is almost in line with what FBA stands for. I think, like most older women, she just wanted to argue. That's my opinion.
In the prison, I asked you a question.
That's plebiscite babble. Okay, that's
because you said the beginning of America, and we know you just agreed that it was already here. So now I'm asking you, what foundation did you build? And you said America. So the only other question is, you must mean America, the corporation, because there is a difference, a distinct.
We're talking about the country of the United States.
Okay, what about it?
That's what I'm talking about.
So you built it where? What did you build? Tell us where did you build it at? What did y'all build?
The entire wealth of this nation.
Show it. Where is it? Where can we find this documentation that y'all built?
What you mean? Slavery. That's what slavery was.
Okay, it was stuff here before slavery. And you know it was whole civilizations, Mississippian civilizations. Mm-hmm. And I'm a descendant of the Mississippi mound builders. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so who built the United States?
We did.
Okay, who was the we?
Listen, we built it. Invaders came, tore it down, did a quote unquote reset, right? And then act like y'all built it. It is a plethora of documented information.
See what I mean? All of that, we built the nation, and I'm not going to disagree or agree. I'll leave that to y'all, but she clearly can't know who Tariq is in terms of his background with the FBA movement. Maybe pre-Tariq was on that Pan-African stuff, was on that kumbaya, everybody in the diaspora come together. But ma'am, Tariq literally is pushing the concept of black Americans building America. I'm just saying, it sounds like there's a disconnect with this entire one-on-one, man. I maybe it's me, but I think y'all on the same team, but y'all just disconnected.
Information that is way before any African came here. And you're not going to talk about the countries that sold other people. Africans sold other Africans. Y'all don't want to ever talk about.
Hold on. Okay. Let's slow it down. Because see, a lot of these spaces, people get to babbling like this. We're going to have some decorum.
Ain't nobody babbling. I'm telling the truth.
Ma'am, you're babbling. Ma'am, you're going to have some decorum. No.
Drop everybody to have a one-on-one with you and you ran.
What you're going to do, ma'am, you're not going to talk over me and just keep babbling. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do plebiscite babble because you're all over the place. We're going to have decorum. We're going to have some decorum, ma'am.
She gotta be a Dane Calloway follower. Now, I might have some issues with Tariq, but I told myself to take a back seat on this entire matter. We got bigger fish to fry. A lot of y'all going back and forth, you know, people in the diaspora, Black Americans, everybody going against one another, but we got bigger fish to fry. And, you know, I'm over here really doing the work. But, man, this woman sounds like a Dane Calloway follower to the core.
We're gonna have decorum.
No, we don't have. Why don't we have some? No.
Decorum. Tell the truth. Ma'am. No. Yes. We're gonna have decorum. We're not doing that. No. We're not gonna do one of these Section 8 spaces where people are gonna do that. We're not going to do that. You're just saying stuff and it's not making sense, and then you start talking about the corporation. We're doing all that plebiscite babble. Now, elaborate on what you're trying to say, ma'am. Hold on, slow down.
I'm not trying to say anything.
All right, let's slow that down, though. Let's slow that down.
Everyone does not have African descent.
Shout out to Ivan Van Sertima, man. He was my first introduction into the idea or even factual disputed claim that blacks were already here in the Americas. And as someone that's an avid reader of my history, I wasn't really surprised because, you know, black people from Africa circumnavigated the entire planet. So it's no surprise if we were here. My thing with plebiscites, as Tariq says, you know, Dane Calloway followers, people that want to identify as Native Americans, and there were mixtures of that. I get it. I'm not here to argue with y'all, but all I'm saying is once you claim that, you know, however you did your history to find yourself on that path, once you claim that, what's next, man? That's all I'm saying. We are a people with all these identities: Black, Israelites, Islam, Judaism, this, that, and the other. All I'm saying is, man, what's the game plan? Let's get back to this.
Okay.
Now, the 1% of the descendants of the chattel slavery are here today because a whole lot of them did not come here from no Africa. We know they didn't. This is why they have changed the website.
Okay, I know that. I know that there were. I know
some people saying that you ain't. So which one are you saying? We are from Africa, or are you not?
There are some of us are from Africa.
Okay.
So what's the argument?
There's not an argument.
I don't even know what your argument is.
You're going to come here. See, we already know that this is a land grab. We're not slow. Okay.
What's the land? Man, what are you talking?
One of the rare moments I agree with Tariq, but I know it's backhanded by him. But what is the land grab? Once again, people, Black quote unquote immigrants only represents 1% in America. You think Black immigrants is going to be a part of a land grab here in the United States of America? Now, I was looking forward to a real good debate to see Tariq on his tippy toes, but Tariq, so far, I understand his frustrations. This woman, fellow plebiscites, you Black natives who claim you are, again, I'm not disputing that, y'all arguments be all over the place. with no foundation to stand on, meaning like there's no blueprints, there's no game plans. It's like I'm a black native, and what else? What else?
You have to have all over the place. It goes into a land grab, and you're the mound builders, and
it's common sense ain't common.
Okay, who built the United States? Let's go back there, because we never United States.
A copper-colored Indian is mentioned in them treaties, and we know Indian is a colonial. I'm Quapaw, aka Agapa. That is the tribe that I'm representing. Sarah.
There we go. There we go. That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, does it make sense a little to y'all now? My God.
Got it.
Who was forced to sign a Louisiana Purchase, right? So if he was forced to sign a Louisiana Purchase, don't that mean he was here first? If he had to sign it?
Okay.
Right.
Now, the tribe that you're connected with, are you federally recognized?
I don't need federal recognition.
Right.
It's flowing in my veins, but I do have the ancestral land with 2 indigenous graveyards on them, though.
Right.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. I get it. Some people feel like not being federally recognized doesn't change anything, which I agree to a certain extent. But she's like standing on something, right, that is empty, meaning there's no planning, there's no discourse for what action is to be taken to do something with this narrative that you are a black native. It's just like, I'm just gonna be loud and tell everybody what I am, and there's nothing after that. Damn, I really thought she would have had something for Tariq, but you're kind of proving his point.
Okay. So here's the problem. See, a lot of these tribes have kicked out the black members, ma'am. Kicked out the black members a long time ago. They've been whiting up. Those tribes have been infiltrated.
Duh.
Yeah?
When they made Calvin Coolidge honorary Sioux chief, we knew that.
So a lot of these tribes, and I'm not disagreeing with you. There were, yes, the Mardi Gras Indians are based on the black Aboriginal people in New Orleans and Mississippi. I know this.
Thank you so much. That's all I wanted you to say. Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
I was about to say, man, I wanted to ask you, Tariq. I don't got no problem with claiming FBA, but the Discord come when like y'all be claiming that we not indigenous. That's what people be having a problem at. But clear as day,
Who said that? Who said that?
Some of your people do be saying that.
No. What am I? No. Stop that. Some of my people shit. I don't have.
I really made this video about Tariq's back and forth with the quote unquote black native woman, but I'm gonna let it run a little so you can get some perspectives of the rest of it. It's 50 minutes long, y'all. I'm not gonna play the entire thing, but on this note right here, the gentleman says he has no problems with Tariq's foundational Black American movement, but he feels like they be beefing with the so-called indigenous blacks, right? And FBA, I just want y'all to understand, a lot of times you misdirect your anger and angst and bitterness towards a lot of black immigrants, but your biggest issues is right here in America with other black Americans that have their own quote unquote identities and divisions. And that's just a problem at whole with the diaspora, whether you're a black American, a black African, Caribbean, whatever. It's just so much division. I don't see unity. So this is why I always land with, what are your works? What are y'all doing out here? And some people like to dismiss that, but nah, that still matters, y'all. As someone that's really physically out here, and I'm going to show even more videos. I already have videos up, but show and tell is important. When you don't have that, you get a lot of grifts going on. And sometimes when you're depressed about your state, whether economically, financially, you look for things to latch on to. Maybe you want self-esteem, so you want a more national approach. But the problem is, man, I see a lot of back and forth with no real game plans, no blueprints for nothing, just a lot of loud hoopla, and nothing is accomplished. No real building. And that's the problem with these ciphers. Everybody wants to show everyone that they know everything while doing nothing. But don't forget the Spike Leaders joint. Do the right thing. Like, share, comment, subscribe. All of this is for entertainment purposes. The real people doing the work ain't got no time for this. I'ma holla at y'all.
No people. It's 43 million foundational Black Americans. I ain't got no people. I speak for me.
You don't believe that?
Yeah, I speak for me. Y'all ask me something. Now, y'all get off that bullshit. Y'all meet some random person. They tell you something that you don't like, and then y'all come to me. Well, somebody told me that they came over here on a train from Ethiopia. I don't give a fuck. I don't know what they're telling you. I don't monitor everybody. I'm not nobody's leader. If you got a question for me, I'll give you the answer. Yeah, I've always said that there are Black indigenous people here. Always. I've always said that. Even in the Hidden Colors, the first one we did, we were the first to talk about the Black Aboriginal people here. Nobody was talking about that before no damn Hidden Colors. We've been telling people about Black Aboriginal people on this land. But the reality is that we were mixed in with some of the Africans who came over, and there was an ethnic genesis. That's not a far-fetched concept. Does that make sense?
Sense, and I ain't trying to have no argument with you.
We're not arguing. We're talking passionately, brother. We're not arguing. No. I don't have a problem with you. I respect the question. No. We're just talking passionately. No argument whatsoever. But I don't like when people get accusatory and say, well, I didn't say this, and telling me what somebody else said that I don't even know. I don't know who you talk to. So yeah, y'all don't bring something to me from somebody that I don't know. I don't know what y'all been told. All right? There you go. All right, thank you.
All these fake $5 Indians. You heard it from Tariq.
Damn, right.
Respect Tariq, FBA, nobody here. Yeah, I think the problem is with this TikTok shit is people think too monolithically of Black Americans.
Yeah.
We're all moving in some pattern, and I'll be one that I've set up here. Tariq is not a leader. The code is the leader. We've had to realize, we've had to decentralize since we've lost a lot of Black leaders post-civil rights, so they've been co-opted. So again, this is just clarification. I got to stop this like running to Twitter, running to TikTok. Tariq said this, Tariq said that. No, this is clarification about our culture. Stop getting it confused. Salute, Tariq. Yo, if you need a mod, please let me know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, fam. Now listen, with the Native American thing. Yeah, we were reclassified as Negro. They reclassified Native Americans. Many of the red ones. Now, if you want to go back and claim a Native American tribe, knock yourself out. I'm not stopping you. Knock yourself out. If you want to go to the swap meet with some feathers and some moccasins, knock yourself the fuck out. I ain't stopping you. Don't have a problem with it. People to go to the swap meet with the moccasins and the feathers with me. Don't blame me. Y'all, they're mad at me because other people don't want to claim a Native American tribe that then kicked out the Black members already. A lot of people don't want to claim that. Respect people's opinion. I ain't got to, and then people start talking about, well, y'all using Black. Well, Black, it means pale. And according to Black Law Dictionary, it means pale and dead. So if you say you is Black, you are saying you is a zombie. Okay, shut up. Just shut up with the damn plebiscite babble. That's the problem. Too much damn plebiscite babble. No, and we're doing all that stuff. And TikTok is full of that plebiscite babble. Yeah, I mean, people that, well, the United States is a corporation. See, the United States don't really exist.
Nah, y'all know Tariq's a comedian, man. At the core of my heart, I really do like his comedic approach, even if I disagree with other things. It's like, man, I wanted somebody more serious to address Tariq. Instead, we get Dane Calloway followers. God damn.
It's really called Narnia, okay? That's the real name. And then we were the Narnia Mound Builders, okay? Okay, Narnia Mound Builders, knock yourself out. If you the Narnia Mound Builders, knock yourself out. Okay? Don't get mad at me. I didn't tell nobody to not join the Narnia Mound Building tribe. I didn't coach nobody. People blame me for way too much shit. All right? I get blamed for everything. The Democrats always blaming me for stuff. The Democrats, they got whole intent to attack me. Then the Republicans always blame me for stuff. The tethers always blame me. The Tariq makes you hate us. Tariq makes you xenophobic. Tariq brainwash you. I didn't brainwash nobody. I didn't trick nobody. People are just tired of folks undermining us. They're tired of the disrespect. And we basically decided to respect and look at our own lineage and designate our own lineage and put respect on our own lineage and make other people put respect on the lineage. Yeah? That's what it is. And again, I've always said what makes you a foundational Black American is that you are a combination of the Aboriginal people who were here. And I was arguing with Tethers all day yesterday about that. They were trying to deny that. I'm hitting them with irrefutable facts that there were Black people on this land way before Columbus. And again, we were mixed in with the Africans who came over. That is a fact. They put us all on the same plantation. We were all living in the same area. So of course we intermingled with each other, and that created an ethnogenesis. That's what makes us foundational to the United States. And we're a Black American by logic. You see? So it's not rocket science. It is not rocket science. All right, let me get some other people in here. All right, y'all hop on in here. And we're getting in here. A lot of people are getting in here. Let's see. Where we at? Let's get liberal economists. I'm gonna A Black TV. All right. What's up, some of the people in here? How do I mod people up too? I'd like to get some moderators in here to kind of.
How you doing, Tariq?
Hey, brother, how are you, sir?
All right. We listen to you, a lot of Black people, a lot of us Negro people. We listen to you both on Twitter. I come from Twitter, but we listen to both on Twitter and TikTok. So really enjoy your shows. But I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, very erudite, very succinct questions, if possible.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so I was on a couple of African panels on TikTok just earlier today, and I was arguing with a couple of them, especially Nigerians, telling them that, especially ones from the UK, telling them that it's not possible for them to trace their lineage back 3. Birth certificates are new. It's a new invention for them. There was never a standard language or a standard form in which they could track their lineage past 3 generations. Would you agree to that? Of Ethiopia and except that I'm talking about more specifically West Africans. I'm talking about West Africa. So again, no West African can trace their lineage past about 3 generations, past 1960. Most of the countries had their independence around the 1960s. So again, aside from Liberia, which of course we all know that Black American freedmen had founded that country under the American Colonization Society. The first president of Liberia was a Black American freedman. But aside from Liberia, my claim to you, and I want you to just say yay or nay on this, as to whether or not West Africans, their lineage past about approximately 3 generations.
Okay,
that's my claim.
Okay, yeah, and that's kind of an accurate assessment, and not just the West Africans, really most of Africa. And I'm not saying that to disparage them, but a lot of them don't have birth certificates over there. They don't really keep the same kind of records as we do here. So a lot of them don't have birth certificates. So when they tell us that we don't know who we are, I think that's a projection. Our history and lineage is very well documented here. No, somebody's saying, don't act when somebody's like, huh? Yeah, a lot of people in Africa don't have birth certificates. That's why when they come over here and immigrate here, they list their birthdays as January 1st. Google that. Most immigrants who come over here, they have a January 1st birthday. That's like a default birthday for immigrants. Google that. A lot of people who have January 1st birthdays are immigrants because they do not have birth certificates. Family, y'all notice these basketball players that come from Africa to play over here? They never know how old they really are. Y'all notice that? I'm not being mean, but yeah, who was that? Was it Matumbo?
I'm not knocking Tariq on that. I just don't know what that has to do with anything. And these are some of the few things that kind of water down the agenda. Whatever agenda the FBA movement has, these are the things that shouldn't be, I guess, put on a microscope. It doesn't do anything, and it makes it seem like you entertain frivolous arguments. That's all I'm saying. If I'm wrong for that, y'all let me know. I'm really genuinely trying to be honest about it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but talking points like that does nothing.
Where was Matumbo from? Y'all know, come on now, let's be real. A lot of them basketball players be playing over here and they never know their real age. You get in? Yeah, they don't know what their real ages are. Yeah, so they be over here. I am 15 years old. I am a teenager. But you look like Danny Glover in the face. You be old as hell talking about you 15.
God damn, man. Look, this is why I take all of this as entertainment, man. At heart, Tariq is a comedian, and if you don't laugh when he cracks up like this, man, you just lying. But the man is funny, yo. He really should take stand-up comedy seriously, man. That's how I see this.
From like Nigeria somewhere, and they're beating all the kids, and this fool got a January 1st birthday. He's really 48 years old, but he's playing as a damn senior in high school because he done told them he's 16. You see a lot of that stuff. So they don't really have records like that. So they don't really know their lineage like that. They really don't. Come on now. Yes, somebody says this is the real Tariq. It is the real Tariq. Now that's mean-spirited. Somebody said they don't keep records, they can't afford paper or deodorant. Now we're not gonna say that. That's mean-spirited. Goodbye, wait, somebody said you do have birth certificates. Okay, hold on, hop on in here. Hop on in here. All right, the floor is open. If y'all got something to say, come on in here. Let me get some more folks in here. Let's get some more people in here. All right. Let's go. Who we got? We got somebody.
Hi. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had something going on. So, now, Miss Creo, where are you from, beloved?
I'm from Louisiana.
Okay. What flag is that?
That's a Venezuelan flag.
Are you part Venezuelan?
Yeah, my grandpa Venezuelan. My other three grandparents from Louisiana.
Okay, got it. So what's on your mind, dear?
Oh, what I wanted to ask you, because you just said mean-spirited just now. So do you believe that there could be because I respect, the whole FBA wanting to be delineated on ethnic group, but do you think that requires xenophobia?
What does that have to do with our lineage?
No, I'm saying, do you think, I'm not saying y'all.
I only stopped it right there to say this. Even when Tariq defends that he doesn't take a xenophobic position, and I can agree to a certain extent because Tariq really just be trolling and roasting. And, I grew up in the South, man, and that literally was a thing. And it was back and forth with different black groups. If you couldn't hold your own in roasting, it was over. It's a wrap. But the young lady brought up an interesting point. While maybe Tariq don't think he's being xenophobic, I'm going to keep it a buck. There are people that follow the FBA movement that has hijacked the aim about black delineation, descendants from chattel slavery, which I can agree. I'm not going to argue that. I think you could be somewhat of a hater trying to argue that position. But when it starts getting dark and you forget the aim of who your enemy is, and it's another black man or woman, yeah, man, things get a little gray. Gotta be honest about it. Things start getting a little gray, and you gotta wonder, man, what type of movement are you a part of where you're not necessarily representing the movement, you're representing your own agenda of hate. And that goes for anybody, whether you're a black immigrant, black American, black Caribbean. You have to ask yourself, do you represent the quote unquote identity you claim, quote unquote movement you claim? Because the actions you do does represent that, and it goes back to the root of it. And I hate to say it, I get it. Tariq Nasheed may not be the self-proclaimed leader, but he is the face. So a lot of you that wants to defend Tariq, when you're out here going back and forth with the hate, spewing out certain hateful rhetoric, it goes back to Tariq. That's all I'm saying. Again, guys, we're just being honest, being grown up about things. Let's not take or mix my words and mince it into some type of, oh, I'm hating and all that. I'm just giving my perspective and trying to be mature about it. So I'm hoping y'all do the same, man.
Our lineage, I'm saying separating the two groups. Like, what do you think about people arguing in the xenophobia back and forth?
If that's their prerogative to do that, that has nothing to do with changing their lineage. They're still going to be a foundational Black American. And the person they're arguing with is still going to be a Nigerian or whatever. That doesn't change the lineage, right?
I'm not saying do it change the lineage. I'm basically asking, do you personally agree with it?
No, that's inconsequential, because I'm all about lineage. If people want to beef or curse each other out, all right, let them beef and curse each other out. That has nothing to do with lineage, because you just tied it to lineage. See, that's what you just did. You just tied it to... I'm saying like the FB, because that's basically why they be beefing, is because of the separation or whatever. You know, people be beefing about being a separate lineage.
But my other question is, what was my other question? Oh, my other question, when it comes to, because you said that FBA is basically some people.
This is just for nothing. Maybe it's the man in me. She got a sexy Louisiana accent, man. Shout out to my Louisiana folks, man. Y'all females, man. Y'all got this nice undertone of sensual, just the way y'all talk, man. I dig that whole shtick y'all got over there, man. I dig it, man. Pause, but like, I love Louisiana women when y'all talk, man. That Creole accent is just everything to me.
People were originally here, and other people came from Africans, correct? That were imported.
Yes. Well, it's a common. It's a combination. Yes.
So, do you think that majority are, or do you think it's possible for a lot of people to be purely, like, their bloodline be purely still of the Black American Indians who are already here?
It's possible. It's possible that there are just some people who didn't mix with some of the Africans who came over, but it's very rare, because we were classified as Negro and we had to live among each other. There was no separate area for the Black indigenous people. All of them were put into the Negro pot. So they did not live in a separate area. So it was impossible for us to not mix with each other, because we had to depend on each other. There's so much evidence showing that with some of the runaways over in the Great Dismal Swamp, there was a lot of Black indigenous people mixed with runaway people who had African descent. So we lived too much into proximity with each other for there to be just a pure Aboriginal presence and just a pure African presence. And there are no pure Africans over here that were descended from slaves, because we got mixed in with way too many people, even Europeans. So
now this is a part where Tariq is correct. And if you ever do your studies on the transatlantic slavery scenario, many of the slaves that initially were brought here went through a process called creolization. They were definitely mixed with the indigenous population. And I'm not even talking about the slave masters raping Black women, etc. I mean, there was a mixing process to get the Black newly arrived slaves accustomed to their environments. And that took a process that happened through decades. It's not something that just happened quick. It took through a period of decades for them to be creolized. So I do agree with that.
Okay, so you basically think the majority are a mix of the Aboriginal, Indigenous blacks and the Africans that came here. Okay. I get your point.
Right. So, but thank you, dear. So the thing is, the level of mixture to me is inconsequential because the ethnogenesis happened. So the minute we got on them plantations, or the minute we were on this land, and you were a Negro, or you had a Negro phenotype, the ethnogenesis began. It's that simple. So some of the indigenous things that were going on, that got amalgamated and remixed and transformed into a new ethnogenesis. We started doing things on this land that was unique from the Aboriginal and unique from Africa. That's why in foundational Black American culture, so many things are unique to us that's not seen in other groups. So we had an ethnogenesis. Miss Tim, I can't pronounce your name. Tim something?
That's fine. My name's Tim Ghazi. I just wanted to speak on what you, and I think there was another panelist that was here before, and you were talking about birth certificates in Africa and whether we tracked our lineage or not in Africa. I just wanted to understand where exactly did you get that information from? Hello? Hello?
Oh, sorry about that, man, because people are texting me while I'm doing that. Okay, so you now?
About Africans not being able to track their lineage.
A lot of people from Africa don't have birth certificates. That's a reality.
A lot of Africans. So because they don't have birth certificates, track their lineage. They don't know nothing about their lineage.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but for the most part, but you can because you don't have the right documents, so you can only trace so far. You can't go all the way back. Over here, we can go back. Okay, are you done, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm agreeing.
Tariq, I have to disagree with you because on those lands of those different nations in Africa, they do have recorded history, brother. I get it. There are situations where, of course, there's people that have no recorded history of even their birth, but at large, it's documented, brother. Like you got that one wrong, and I'm rocking with everything so far, but that one you're wrong on. You're definitely wrong.
It's what you're saying.
Okay.
So I just wanted to educate in case a question like this ever comes up again. You would be well equipped with the information by not just Googling it, but actually speaking to people from there, right? Exactly. So I just want to explain something more.
So let's slow down for 1 second. Now, where are you from? Where are you from, ma'am?
I'm South African, particularly.
I knew it was coming. I was waiting all throughout this panel to hear it. I knew it was coming, man. Right on cue, man. There is no Tariq Nasheed on an FBA space without asking, where are you from? Now, I'm being coy, right? Just this is satire, but sometimes, and I'm just being honest, man, I understand why he asked that. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I get why he asked that. There are some of you blacks out here, no matter where you are from the diaspora, I feel the need sometimes to ask y'all the same questions because the way some of y'all move, I'm understanding why people ask you where the hell you from.
Zulu and Xhosa.
Got it.
Yes. So the Zulus and the Xhosa are of Nguni, of the Nguni tribe, right? That's our umbrella tribe. And if you go further, we are of the Bantu people. So the way that down south in the southern regions of Africa, us Nguni people, the people that fall under that Nguni umbrella, the way that we track our lineage is through clan names. So as you can see on my name here, my name is Tem, the name of one of my forefathers, right? I know this because we're able to track our lineage using something that we call izithakazelo. Swati people call it inanatelo. Those are clan names. So the clan names basically, they tell you who you are and whose you are. they give not just the names of your forefathers, but they tell you about the characters, the kind of people that they were, and where they came from.
And that's why I was saying earlier, Tariq was wrong on his point, kind of blanketing an entire group of people of not knowing or not able to trace their history. It's false. Maybe individually you can say that about some folks, but in Africa, through many tribes and clans, they go back thousands of years, guys. They have these histories recorded. Maybe in the Caribbeans, it doesn't go so far back. Here in the Americas, it doesn't. But in Africa, I know some of y'all probably never been. I have. Also have research, man. This knowledge goes back thousands of years, and it is recorded through clans and through tribes, maybe just not individually. I hope we all okay right now. You know, this is just a great conversation for me to have with everybody. I hope we're okay and none of this is hate. I assure y'all.
So it doesn't just tell you the story about where you guys are situated. It tells you about where they came from before they even settled in the places that they currently exist in now. And that's something that is standardized for everyone that is under that Nguni umbrella. So me, for example, I being from South Africa can have somebody else from, let's say, Zimbabwe, or someone from Swaziland or Malawi, and they would have the same last name as me. But that the last name itself wouldn't necessarily matter. What matters is the clan names. The clan names tell me if these people are my family or not, because when they start reciting in that clan names, I know that, oh my gosh, we share the same forefathers. So someone that is of Zulu heritage, for example, or South African heritage would look at my social media name and instantly know that my last name is actually Njangase, because Mgazi, as you can see here in my name, is my identifier to show that I am from that lineage.
What she's saying, folks, is basically, you know, of course, if you don't know, Africa was colonized for hundreds of years. And when they divided up Africa, they cut through the boundary lines of many different demographic lines of different tribes and clans. So let's just say you got Rwanda, you got the Congo. There are certain groups, right, that are spread through different so-called nations in Africa. So you might have a colonized Ghana, which is through the French, versus a colonized Congo, right? This person's last name may be a French last name. That person's last name may be an English last name, but they come from the same tribe. So they're of the same lineage. I see what she's saying. She's going in depth, and I'm curious to see how Tariq responds to this.
My forefather is Mgazi. And then they will know that because of my lineage, when they go back and back and back, it actually has direct ties to Shaka Zulu's bloodline itself. That's how we are able to tell each other apart. I can see another South African look at that last name or hear a clan name and know exactly which bloodline they're from. Those were the ways that we were and are still able to tell our bloodline. The documentation came after colonization. It came with the YT man, and it was for their own convenience, not necessarily for ours. And we're not the only ones that documented ourselves like this. Other indigenous tribes around the world, not just Africa, are able to track their lineage in their own special ways as well, and they can speak for themselves. But all of these other things were YT people construct. They came with them because of control. They wanted to control things, and they also wanted to document things for their own personal reasons, even in America.
Okay. But that don't change the reality that a lot of people in Africa, outside of your tribe, don't have birth certificates because they were born somewhere in a tent or somewhere in the desert and nobody documented it. And if they immigrate over here or they get rescued or something, they list their birthdays as January 1st. None of that changes that. I didn't say everybody couldn't trace.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that It doesn't discredit the fact that they know who they are. We always know who we are. A birth certificate is a YT man's construct. That's what I'm telling you. Just because other people are not doing things the YT man's way doesn't mean the way that they do their things according to their own cultures and history is invalid. You don't invalidate people's histories just because you have chosen to adopt a European way of doing things.
Well,
and also, going back to the whole January 1st thing, I don't know where the heck you got that from. Birth certificates and stuff in Africa, in the early 1800s to like late 1900s, that's when they started to be kind of like general, and especially when you need to travel to go overseas. People that are traveling and going overseas usually have the money and the capacity to actually take themselves there a lot of the time, so they will have such things as a birth certificate, and you are required to have birth certificate and documentation to really show when you were born and all of that kind of thing before you travel anywhere. You can't just have a generalized birth date like
that's not true.
That is incorrect.
Okay,
it is incorrect
that's not true.
For you to
y'all Google what I just said. All right, y'all look it up.
Information you get.
Look it up and tell me I'm lying.
This from Google. You need to start going to do deeper research about things that you come
whatever apparatus you want to use to look it up. You can look it up.
Deeper research about the things that you come up here.
Ma'am, when people come over here, when people come over here to our homeland, when people come to our homeland, no, calm down.
Lying on Africans.
Abasola. Down, Abasola, calm down.
Lied about
we don't, ma'am, I'm not Sally Struthers. I'm not Sally Struthers, ma'am. Ma'am,
you lied.
I'm not Sally Struthers. Calm down.
Lied.
We don't do that. Calm down. We have to down. No. You don't talk over me, ma'am. Ma'am, this is ma'am. I'm not at the Red Cross about to give you a bag of grains. I'm not about to give you a bag of grains. Calm down, ma'am. Abasola, calm down. We don't do that. No. Abasola, calm down. You're not gonna do that. No, we have to see these little TikTok spaces. Y'all got to clean stuff up. All this yelling and all this goosey babbling. We don't do that. No. Abasola, calm down.
Clean up your knowledge.
Calm down, Abasola. I'm gonna get your ma'am.
Clean up your knowledge.
Ma'am.
Clean up your knowledge.
Ma'am. We don't do that. You're not gonna talk over me, Abasola. Calm down.
Clean up your life.
All right, you're repeating the same thing over and over like you do at the Red Cross.
God damn. Once it starts going left, that's my cue to leave. I just want to drop a quick conclusion. By the way, I know I said I was only going to let it play for 5 more minutes, but it was getting a little good and mature until it wasn't. I'll have a link on the bottom for the rest of the video. I mean, it's about 50 minutes long. I just wanted to say, man, we have too much tribalism within the diaspora between blacks. Again, blacks all over the world. And this problem is the reason why I truly have little hope for certain grassroots movements, also online movements. I'm under the assumption that they're gonna fail. We can't even have civil discourse. Whites, and I hate to say it, these Europeans don't move like this, whether they're Europeans in South Africa, Australia, here in America. They don't move like this. They're not so into their tribalisms where you have a white boy with German ancestry versus a white boy with Austrian ancestry or French ancestry, Spain, whatever. They understand to stay on code when it comes to race, man. We don't. And I will say this, despite my disagreements with Tariq in the past and other FBA, I will say this, man. With this rise of white supremacy here in America, and you're a fool if you think it's not true. You're a fool. With the rise that's making a grand appearance again, like it's almost 1960 again. It was real subtle, but it's coming out very boldly. With that approaching, that's my cue to get back on code, man, because sometimes you get so emotional, you start arguing, right, with one another about different divisionary issues we have with one another, whether you're a black immigrant, whether you are a black American from chattel slavery here in the US. We start having so much issues that we don't realize as a whole around the world, black folks are dead last, man. Dead last compared to others. And it's a problem, man. So for me, you won't hear me really kind of put out videos dispelling anything Tariq Nasheed says, going against somebody claiming to be FBA, going against a black immigrant. I really personally don't have time for it. As I said in the beginning part of the video, I'm actually out here doing the work, so I can't get distracted. You know, this is for entertainment purposes, and I'm a content creator, so I'm gonna chime in on it. But it's just disappointing to see where our energy is, and it seems like we get more fueled up when we're disagreeing with one another, so we can go back and forth all day. My aim and intentions are selfishly for black people right here in America. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm born and raised here. My children are here. All of my investment spiritually, economically, you know, physically is right here in the US. So I was raised in the hood, basically. I don't make, you know, no excuses about it. I don't try to hide it, no shame, because I love my people. Growing up, I didn't think we were poor. I didn't think this is the ghetto. I just thought, you know, black people living amongst one another. You know, relations have become worse, but it only appears that way, I will admit, more online. In reality, most of us gets along with one another, right? Even with the degeneracy that I'm really fighting against in our community, all of the negative aspects, the negative stereotypes, even with all that, man, I bet on black all day, man. And I hope you all are betting on black all day. So I don't care if you claim to be FBA, Pan-Africanist. I don't care what your intentions are with your, you know, national movement. Whatever you want to be a part of, fine. Understand, man, you gotta bet on black, man. The minute you pretend, and I do call it pretending, that your enemy is another black man or woman, you already lost in this, man. That white man won a long time ago dealing with your life. Like, you lost. You really lost. But I'm not beefing with Tariq, FBA, or black immigrants, man. I just don't have it in me to beef with my people or to make any more videos about what I don't like in our community. It's too much going on, so I'm gonna be on cold like them white boys and gals out there. They don't care what's going on in their communities, from their own crime rates, from their own depravity, from their own bloodlust, violent history. They stay on cold. They walk around like they angels. So certain things I pretend I don't even see online, because I'm already handling that in real life. Our crime issues, our foster system problems, broken families. I know I'm doing the work to repair that. So online, I don't need to be another voice like the Anton Daniels and, you know, Officer Tatum's and Myron Gaines out there doing the white man's work, being a very good coon, talking about my people. So that's why I said earlier in the video, man, I hope y'all don't take my words as hate. I really love my people, man, but I'm selfishly here for black Americans here in the United States of America, man. I think we got issues right here that we got to focus on before I worry about the things outside of here. That's just me. That's just me. What say y'all in the comment section? Let me meet you there.